Mobley has Mitchell. Mitchell sprays it off to Garland. Inside to Mobley, who hammers it home.
What more can you even say? The Cleveland Cavaliers won again. They're now 26-4 through 30 games. They beat the Utah Jazz 124 to 113. Definitely wasn't the prettiest basketball game ever, but right from the jump, you could just kind of tell it was going to be one of those nights. I mean, the rim literally broke in warm-ups. I think it was Tristan Thompson that broke it, but that delayed the game about a half hour, and from there, everything was thrown off because you know how superstitious professional athletes are. I gotta give credit to the Utah Jazz for how competitive they played. Every time they come to Cleveland, it's kind of like a blast from the past. They have Lauri Markkanen, they have Jordan Clarkson, they have Colin Sexton. Those were some of my favorite players a few years back, especially Young Bull. The Jazz definitely dominated the glass in this one. The starting lineup had 36 boards combined. Wasn't the best game from Jarrett Allen, but it happens. He only played 26 minutes. But once again, we saw Kenny Atkinson's greatness because he sensed that it wasn't his night, so he pulled him. He only played 26 minutes. Jarrett Allen's final stat line was 7, 6, and 2, and he was plus 10, so I guess at the end of the day, when he was out there, things weren't that bad, but he just was not getting rebounds, and it was affecting the team. But Sam Merrill was the role player that stepped up in this one, and that is why the Cavs are so good. Every single night, a new guy steps up outside of the core four. And Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell of course went crazy, as they always do. If Evan Mobley really is going to be an above average 3-point shooter, then I don't know how you're going to stop this team in a 7-game series. I know the Celtics are good, but they just lost to a super injured Orlando Magic team. Again, I know it's the regular season and the Celtics are coming off a championship. Obviously, they're not taking it as serious as the Cavs are, but right now, Cleveland looks like the better basketball team. Donovan Mitchell had 22 points with 3 rebounds and 7 assists, and he also had a big 3 steals, and then Darius Garland had 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 assists as well. Send both of those guys to the All-Star game. I think they both should be starters. I think there is an argument for both of them. I don't see why there's any point guard in the East more deserving than him, and then Mitchell, of course, is obviously going to be the starter, as he has been over the last couple of years. I thought the bench was pretty good in this game as well. Nobody stood out in terms of stats, but Georges Niang played 21 minutes. He had 8 points and 7 rebounds. He had one of the biggest rebounds of the game late in that fourth quarter where he just ripped the ball away from the Jazz as they were starting to make their push to get back in the game. And then Max Strus, he only had 2 points, but he grabbed 6 rebounds and 2 assists, kind of offsetting what the starting lineup for the Jazz did. And then LeVert played 23 minutes. He had 11 points and 3 rebounds as well. This game really was a Kenny Atkinson masterclass. Him deciding to go hack-a-shack on Walker Kessler, that was genius. Evan Mobley only had 1 foul at the time, so it was totally worth it, and I think he was 1 for 6 in 3 trips to the line. But yes, Sam Merrill was the X factor in this game. It was nice to see him finally get going again because he kind of had a brutal last month or so. He just wasn't himself, but 20 points, if you can get 20 points from Sam Merrill, you're going to win pretty much every game unless something crazy happens on the other side. And then kind of getting back to some Cavs promo, I do not understand how Donovan Mitchell is not even top 10 in the MVP race right now. It makes no sense to me. There is no world where he is not top 10. To me, he's top 5. I mean, he's the best player on the best team in the league. The disrespect needs to stop. How is Tyler Hero on the MVP ladder and not him? It's ridiculous, and that is why all season I've kind of been complaining about the Cavs hate on the national level. I know some of you guys are tired of it, but it really is ridiculous. How much more does this team have to do to get their recognition? And I already know what everyone's gonna say. Oh, we need to see it in the postseason. No, that's just not true. And they have shown it in the postseason. They got past the first round last year, and this year, I think they're at least going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they're going to make it to the finals, but obviously I'm a biased fan. I know it is Cleveland. I know Cleveland kind of has a little bit of a curse to them in terms of sports, but the Cavs already broke that curse. They won a championship, albeit it was with LeBron. But I think they can do it again, and I think they are set up in a great position depth-wise to make a run at the title. As I said, I just love how it's a new guy every single night. Today it was Sam Merrill, but I also thought Georges Niang made some very critical plays. He's just a fun player. He's a hustler, he's a smack talker, and when he's hitting threes, he's actually a very effective role player. But I know when he's off, he doesn't deserve to play more than 5 minutes. Really, it just comes down to if he's hot or cold. Ty Jerome played 13 minutes. He had 5 points and 2 assists. He is kind of starting to come back to reality, but every now and then he'll hit a big shot. He still is stepping up big time for what everyone thought he would be coming into this season. I also love to see some Tyson minutes. He only played 8, but he had 4 points and got a big steal and was 2 of 3 from the field. He's a hustler. I think he can develop into a solid role player. He just needs time. But yeah, I blame this game on Tristan Thompson for messing with the rim and causing that delay. This was all his fault. Shouldn't have been close, but I would have liked to see the Cavs close out this game a little bit better because they were up by 18 points at one point with about like 5 or 6 minutes left to go. It should have not been that close in the first place, but hey, a W is a W, and now they are 26-4 through 30 games. I remember going all the way back to the start of the season. I was constantly making videos about this team as they were 10-0, and I remember comments saying they would be back to 500 by month 3. Well, those were probably some of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life. I know every now and then I'll make a bad take, but that's just gonna happen when I'm making videos every single day. Eventually I'm gonna say something wrong. I know I was wrong about Garland, but for the most part, I think I'm pretty accurate. I think you guys can agree with me on that. But yeah, now I'm just completely rambling. Before we wrap up this video, let's take a look at what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews.
This is the last game before Christmas. Do we have a holiday message for the fans out there?
Happy holly jolly Christmas.
Bruh.
Happy holidays to everybody. Really appreciate the support. Hope to see you guys in 2025.
To have to guard in and out. So to me, and then we have guys who can make shots. And they're getting a little loud back here now.
They're buzzing, Racy. They're going crazy. Hey, well, in that same note, Sam Merrill finished with a season-high 20 points on a season-high 6 made 3.
Coach, coming into this game, obviously there was a discrepancy when it comes to size. Both teams had 7-footers, 2 guys that can play in the middle. When it came to the change in the second half, what did you go to the decision to take Jared out at later?
They were switching everything defensively, and we just figured we need to spread them out a little bit more. We love Jared; he's great, but felt like we need a little more shooting out there with their switching. So that was a call.
Come on, let's find bodies and hit. We just got to find somebody, hit them. Keep them there. Keep them there, down.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and let me know in the comments below what you thought about this W against the Jazz. Also, please let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.